The tragedy on the N1 near Madoda in Limpopo that claimed 43 lives has once again put the spotlight on the safety of the N1. It's a crucial gateway to Southern Africa, particularly the mountainous section where the accident occurred. A coach was carrying Zimbabwean and Malawian passengers from Gqeberha to Harare, where it veered off the road. Limpopo Premier Dr. Popi Ramathuba says the bus may have been overloaded, a factor now under investigation. But we also thought we'd take a look at the roads itself, the roads conditions, infrastructure and the like, because that is what Sanral are responsible for. So let's talk to Sanral's Limpopo head, that's Madoda Mthembu, who joins us now. Madoda, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's just talk about what Sanral perceives or sees when it comes to the safety standards of the N1 road in Limpopo, particularly those mountainous regions like Madoda where that recent crash occurred.
Hello, good morning to you and your viewers. I think first of all, we as Sanral would like to take this opportunity to pass our deepest condolences to the relatives and families of the deceased. It's quite an unfortunate event once again in terms of road safety in our country. We would like really to extend our condolences. Going back to your question, yes, the N1 is a major corridor starting from Cape Town and ending up in Beitbridge border post with the border with Zimbabwe. So in this specific stretch of the N1, just north of Madoda, where this incident occurred, as you correctly indicated, it goes through a mountain pass. So with the terrain and the topography there, it's quite dangerous to maneuver through that space. As the current condition of the road in terms of the road pavement, it's okay, but of course the road does have a couple of sharp bends that in this case we don't know what happened here, but I think that the driver might have lost control in terms of maneuvering through some sharp bends.
How do you measure the status of a particular road, the condition of a road? And what I mean by that is everything from the tar itself right through to the barriers that may need to be in place, whether those need to be of concrete nature or maybe just the steel barriers, which is currently what we had in place in and around that area, lighting, signage, etc. How do you know where and when to put that through? And considering the number of accidents that are happening along this road, would you say that there's sufficient of all of that?
Yeah, well, over time, due to increasing traffic volumes, I think when the road was first designed and constructed, at a time when it was done, it was still fine because, I mean, we do proper designs and proper planning in terms of traffic forecast and all that. Maybe just to answer your question, we are busy with the design to improve this stretch of the N1, just north of Madoda, basically from Madoda going to about plus or minus 27 kilometers north. So that section or this design then includes this section here where we have this mountain pass. So the capacity of the road is no longer able now to contain the level of traffic volume, especially your heavy trucks going up to SADC countries. Hence, we are now busy with a design to improve the road, to improve road safety, to eliminate some of these sharp curves and especially this bend here that's part of design to try and eliminate that.
So what does an improvement of this actually look like? Would that be something like an additional lanes, because at some point it's only one way in each direction, or is that also just a straightening of these paths, a little further straightening of these paths to avoid these bends, which possibly also increases the speed limit, if I'm correct, from the current 40 plus minus in around that area, which also then creates some more hazard, doesn't it?
Yeah. So as part of the design that we're busy with, we're looking at the cross section of the road. Currently, it's a 2-lane road, 1 lane in each direction. So the design looks into widening the road. So now with the limitation in terms of the space available, so it's going to be a combination where the space allows that we will widen the road into a 4-lane divided cross section. But where the space doesn't allow, we will come back into a 2-lane, but provide climbing lanes and passing lanes. So basically, that's what the designing will be trying to achieve.
Yeah. Do you know by when this would be started and completed by? I know you've just said you're only in the design phase at present, but how long does a process like this usually take?
Well, we have already appointed engineers who are busy with the designs. So they're just busy with the concepts. So we have selected a particular concept, which then through internal processes in terms of the approval of that design still needs to be discussed and approved. So with the condition as it is, and all these unfortunate events that are happening there, I think we will try our best to expedite the design. Maybe in the next 12 to 18 months, we should be done with the design.
Yeah, all right. So that's hopefully between 12 to 18 months that we get a fix of that road, an improvement in that road. Are you able, with the advancements in technology and such at present, are you able to determine once a particular road has been improved, fixed, etc., how much that would reduce accidents by? And I ask that because, of course, you can't remove it entirely because human error comes into play. Human activity is a key factor, and that may necessarily be a part of what happened in this accident. And so we don't discount that completely. But do you know how much you would reduce accidents by once you've improved this road in the way that you're speaking of? And also, what took so long for us to get these upgrades?
Yeah, I think each upgrade has its own local dynamics. So I think it will be difficult for me to predict by what percentage we'll be able to reduce the accidents. I think it's something that then we will measure after we have done the upgrades, because in other areas where we have improved the road condition through a mountain pass, to our surprise, we found that the accidents increased because now the road is nice, wide, and open. That then sort of comes as a temptation to the drivers to increase their speed. So I think it's those factors that we will have to look at once the upgrade and the construction is finished, then to do those safety appraisals just to check if there is any reduction in terms of the accidents. But I think with the improvement that we are planning, we do believe that there will be a reduction, specifically here.
Yeah, and one would have noticed across many roads, national roads that is, in the country, there's been a change to the runoff areas in a lot of these highways or national roads, particularly when you're on-ramping or off-ramping on these national roads. And there's either signage or there's infrastructure that has been put in to ensure that you're actually not in those, let's call it emergency lanes as previously as they were. Does that mean that we need to relook at the guardrails, relook at the rubble strips, the hazard markers that are in place that would help prevent these sorts of accidents from happening?
Yes, definitely. We will have to look at that. In fact, as part of the design process, we do appoint independent sort of road safety engineers who are going to scrutinize the design to check that does this design address the safety issues along the stretch. So we do have that process where we appoint this independent engineer just to check the design that will it address the safety issues. that have been problematic in that particular stretch. So in terms of improving road signage, road markings, barriers, that will definitely be done.
Yeah, and it becomes so important to kind of look at this and try to find out exactly how we ensure that roads like this are safer. And I'm not saying that, despite any of your work, that this accident wouldn't have happened or would have happened, etc. It's just about trying to create an all-encompassing solution that would certainly help in situations like this so that we can do all we can do. Just pretty much as a final question, in terms of audits, public reviews, commentary from communities, etc., very shortly, how do you ensure that you capture that in how you deal with the infrastructure and the changes you make to roads and improvements you make, as it were?
Yeah, of course. I mean, as part of the planning and the design, our engineers will look at all factors. You might want to, interview a couple of locals just to check what is their experience in that specific stretch of the road.
Yeah.
So we will try all our best, because there is data available that shows that there's been an occurrence of accidents on the stretch.
Sure.
So that data will also assist in terms of then inputting it into our design.
Madoda, Mthembu, really appreciate your time, really appreciate your candor as well in how we set about this interview and just the fixing of that road, improving it further where need be. Madoda, Mthembu, Sanral, Limpopo ahead as we talk about that Limpopo bus crash. We're trying to get more information, trying to create a safer environment overall. 12 to 18 months is hopefully by when we can get some more improvements with regards to that road, extending lanes and maybe even getting even more signage.